Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus 277, Show and Tell. Unlike the Rush song, Show Don't Tell. All right. Telling is not always a bad thing. It depends on your prose. As you're flowing your story through, what is the telling part? The telling part is probably scenery. It's probably a situation setup. It's probably something within a scene that needs to quickly transition from an action through something to another action within the same scene, and various elements like that. People confuse showing with trying to see something through the protagonist's eyes, through the character's eyes. He watched her do a thing. He watched her are superfluous words. Okay, unless you're talking about a voyeur, then that's a different story. He snuck into the window, peeked an eye in, and saw this. And then you describe some stuff. People use he watched her as a shortcut to showing. You don't need to put that in there, especially if you're describing a scene. If you're laying the scene out there, just lay the scene out there. Don't say he watched her, he looked, he did this, he saw. You don't need to do any of that unless it's a setup or incremental to what you're trying to do. Not that he saw it, but that he was part of the scene. So you're painting it at like the director's view. Here's what they all see, and you're showing what they see without saying he saw this, he watched this, unless that is so critical to the element. Except then, what about the assumption? Do you assume that he saw it because you're painting the scene? Or do you need to say he didn't see that, he turned away before all this unfolded before him? Then the critical element is that he didn't see it. And now that's what you're showing them, not saying that, hey, here's all this neat stuff, but he didn't see it. And then why would you do that? Lay it out there and then show who's looking where. And this is the director's view of the scene. Are you telling emotions or are you showing them? And this is where first-time authors make make the mistake in that they'll say something like, he was horrified. Okay, that doesn't elicit anything, but his eyes shot wide, his mouth fell open, and he's frozen in place. Okay, now you can kind of get into his mind, especially in context with the rest of the scene. That's a showing element vice telling, and telling being he was horrified, he was afraid. That shortcuts it. That steals the opportunity to elicit emotions from your readers. And this is what the whole purpose of showing is, to engage your readers' minds, engage their imagination, and draw out those emotions from them. So what is the impact of the pain, the joy, the fear of the characters? Showing. It's not that the character was afraid. Maybe fear is one part of everything else that's going on. And then you just say, hey, his fear did this. And then you lay out those elements. But then it's, how do you elicit emotion from the reader? Because then he needs to do something. His fear caused him to challenge himself. Okay. And then what is that? What are those challenges? And lay that out there, showing, not telling. The tell is a quick setup for something else that's more important for the reader. How does it make them feel? How does it draw out the joy? How does it make them afraid? If somebody is frozen in place behind a crate and can't move because this raging, blazing fury in the eyes of his enemy is piercing his very soul. That's different. That draws out that emotion of he's afraid, even though you said his fear is doing this to him, but to an extent that it's hard to even imagine. And then you put yourself in that situation and it draws out the emotion. So the situation, then you feel the thing. If you're not making people feel, then you're telling. I'm telling you how you should feel. That's stealing from your readers what they can do with their own imagination. And that's what showing is all about. I could give a lot of different examples, but the examples fall short. It's drawing out the emotion from your readers. And the way you do that is you put them into a situation and you show them something and you let them feel it. Don't tell them the character was horrified and then it ran. ran for their life. Okay. I mean, that's a dull black and white sentence, and it doesn't it doesn't do anything. But maybe let the reader know and let them decide, do they run or not? I mean, you watch horror movies, they always run the wrong way. They always hide in the basement. Come on now, people. So every story has the opportunity to elicit that emotion, no matter what. Romance thrives on it. Military sci-fi, it's the action, it's the adrenaline rush. Horror, it's the fear. Oh yeah, give you a rush, right? All right. Hopefully that helps. A little bit of show and tell. There's so much on the topic. There's sessions and sessions and sessions on that. And 20 Books Vegas, you can find a session by Joe Nassis on Show Don't Tell, which is an excellent session, something to pay more attention to, watch, and study further to improve how you draw out that emotion from your readers. All right. Peace, fellow human. Good internet today. Yay.